What's up, gang?
Hey, Dana.
What's up, buddy?
First of all, do you think this was the best week of the season? I mean, given the knockouts you had?
It was damn good. It's hard for me to sit up here and say what was the best. Tonight was a damn good night. And not just for the fights, but fun talent to look forward to.
And I wanted to ask you, you seemed a little uncertain on Vec. I'm not sure how to say his name, the last guy that won.
Yeah.
You seemed uncertain on him. You mentioned that Alex convinced you. What did Alex?
That's why I'm so late. I've been back there talking to Alex this whole time.
What did he say?
He said, obviously, a little more clinching than you would expect. You would expect the other guy to clinch with him, not him clinching. But he said, this is what I think. I think he's talented enough, and I think he deserves to be here. He's had, obviously, a ton of fights in his career, which is what I thought, too, going in. But he said, I think that the Contender Series, no matter where you fought or what you've done, puts a different type of pressure on you, and you might not, you might not perform the way you normally would. He thinks that this is a tremendous amount of pressure, and he said, all I know is I'm glad I didn't have to go through the Contender Series.
And I thought that Dulatov was amazing tonight. I mean, he came out, and it wasn't 10 seconds into the fight, and he lands a giant left hook.
Yep.
And sometimes you see guys when they have their opponent in trouble early, and they don't finish him right there, then they kind of just coast the rest of the way. But he never stopped, and that was very impressive.
He showed up to finish. I mean, that guy wasn't leaving here without a finish. He is very fun to watch. He's 11-1. He's only 26 years old. And I literally can't wait to see him fight in the UFC again.
And the diversity he showed, he finished him with the elbow. He threw basically pretty much everything at the guy, right? And they were all hard and fast.
Yeah, I agree. I mean that guy's an absolute savage. He's got what's he got here? 12 fights and 9 first-round finishes. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see when he gets into some deeper water with a guy that can mix it up with him, but I'll tell you, he's going to be fun right out the gate.
And then you seem to be really impressed tonight with Cody Steele. Was he worth the wait in your opinion?
Yeah. So I was impressed with both guys, actually. The fact that Blair took this fight, he just won a fight very impressively a couple weeks ago in London, comes back to San Diego, gets back in the gym, and then shows up for this fight. And when you think about a kid like Cody, who literally – the other kid, the Brazilian kid that came to fight him last time, pulls out of the fight twice the night of the fight and then decides he's not built for this isn't for him. It has to do something to Cody mentally, almost like this. It's got to feel damn good. I can't imagine, but 100%. And gives you another level of confidence. Then you come in tonight and you start trading with a guy that's trying to take your head off. And you got to dig deep. And go toe-to-toe with this guy. He ate some big shots, and it was fun. It was fun. And yeah, the answer is yeah, he was worth the wait.
And the thing I liked about that, and I wonder what the finish, was that little hook to the body, right? I mean,
beautiful.
Just short little thing,
Beautiful.
But he still put a lot of power on it.
Beautiful shot to the body. And very rarely in this sport do you see guys finish guys with body shots like that, especially – you can tell that Blair is a technical, seasoned, tough kid. Had a great chin too, and ends up getting finished. And he was down for a while with that body shot.
A couple things I wanted to ask you. Conor is in town. Have you met with him?
No, I haven't. I haven't even talked to him.
Do you have any plans to meet with him?
No.
Okay. And do you know if he's here to train now or what's?
No, I think he's here for. He had some sponsorship stuff that he had to do in town.
A reporter in South Africa asked me if I would ask you this question. A couple of weeks ago, you had said that Dricus was going to do his next defense in South Africa. Now his coaches are saying he's going to fight in Sydney.
Yeah.
So can you kind of clarify that?
Yeah, so you know how bad I want this. I've been trying to get this thing done. The arena situation there is tough. It's tough to pull off. So that's been the challenge with Africa as a whole. So we're trying to figure it out. The place that we would have to do it at is outdoors. And you know how I feel about that. And so I've been trying to figure out the weather. One of the big things that I'm hearing out there is wind is a big problem. And we've done it a couple times, but anything that can affect the outcome of the fight makes me not even want to try. So, you know, and it's anything from wind, rain, bugs. I mean, too much humidity. A lot of things can interfere with the fight.
And would Strickland still be the guy you had committed to Strickland previously?
Yes.
Okay. And then lastly, this is just a goofy one I wanted to ask you, but I saw a thing going around on Instagram. They said there's a guy whose job is to stand behind the pay-per-view announcers when there's knockouts and they go back and they don't fall out of their chairs. And they showed like clips of maybe 7 or 8 different people, and it was always the same guy behind them. Is there somebody who has a job of, like in Power Slap, and standing behind Rogan and Anik and saving these guys?
Oh, that's funny. No, I didn't know that. It's almost like these coaches that can't stop running on the field, and they got to have the guy that pulls them back. We got to have people catching the announcers during the fights. The beautiful thing about that is, and I talk about it all the time, Rogan specifically. You see a lot of guys in sports, and you know that they're paid talking heads, and Joe Rogan legitimately loves the sport and is into it. And I've said this many times. The first time that I ever talked to him, and I was trying to get him to be part of the commentary team, he's like, so wait a minute, let me get this straight. You're telling me that I can come to my favorite sport in the world and actually get the best seats in the house and do this? He goes, I do this for free. And you can tell when he talks about it, his reaction to fights, whenever we had a big fight back in the day and I was looking for somebody to break down the fight, I would always say, I know Rogan's busy and but we need Rogan. We need Rogan's voice on this. And that's why he's one of the greatest of all time, if not the greatest.
Hi, Dana.
Hi.
On Thursday, you have Nikki Rod headlining the UFC International Invitational, Fight Pass Invitational. He's a big star right now. He just won CJI. He's been on the Fight Pass for a long time. Is he somebody you would ever consider bringing over to MMA or kind of pushing him towards training?
Well, I don't push anybody toward anything. If these guys want to cross over, like Cody, I mean, that's up to them. I would never push anybody to get into this unless that's what they really want to do. And when you look at a kid like Cody tonight, I was saying, usually guys that have great jiu-jitsu don't have hands like that, and don't love to trade and don't love to sit in the pocket and throw. He's the real deal. He really showed it tonight. We're actually probably lucky that the other fight fell out and this was the fight that happened, because I was impressed with both guys.
Justin Gaethje's manager came out today and said that Justin was offered Conor McGregor 5 times, and all 5 times Conor refused. Can you verify if that's accurate?
I don't know if that's true. Conor McGregor, I've said this many times, and I'll say it again. I mean, we actually have video footage of Lorenzo and I walking into his house that he was renting here. He just woke up telling him that the fight fell out, and he's literally leaving going, well, I'm going to train. Let me know who I'm fighting when I get back. We've never had those kind of issues with Conor McGregor, ever.
Amanda Nunes posted a video today for you. Can you respond to that?
She looks good. She looks great. Looks like she's still in shape, so. You know where her head's at, and I love that about her. There's a lot of things I love about her. I love that about her. She's keeping an eye on who wins the title next, and I think she's teasing that she might be interested in coming back.
Dustin Poirier proposed a 4-man tournament for the BMF title. Him, Gaethje, Max, and Dan Hooker. Is that something you'd ever consider? I mean, it's BMF, so you can make up your own rules.
Sounds fun. Never thought about it, but yeah, I love it.
And last one, another fun one. Oscar Willis, he runs Conor McGregor's website.
Yep.
He's fighting at BKFC on Saturday.
What?
Yeah, I wonder if you have any advice for him.
What? Don't do it. What? Is that why he's not here?
Yes.
He's always here.
Yeah.
So he is fighting bare knuckle. When?
Saturday, 10 a.m. Saturday.
This Saturday?
Yeah. He's opening the
He's a
card.
great kid. I wish him all the luck in the world. Hope he doesn't get his face busted up.
Thank you.
Who's he fighting?
He's fighting Ben Davis, another media member.
What? Holy shit. All right.
10 a.m. on YouTube.
Dana.
Huh?
10 a.m. on YouTube.
He's what?
10 a.m.
10 a.m. on YouTube.
It's on YouTube? At 10 a.m.? Saturday. All right. I'm in. I will watch it.
Dana, tonight, obviously, you had a glory, or a kickboxing champion. You had a high-level Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu fight competitor compete. Do you foresee more high-level kickboxers, more D1 wrestlers, more Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu champions?
Well, I actually think, like we were saying earlier, it's fascinating how these guys that came out of this whole circuit with Israel and Alex, including them, are doing so well in the UFC. It's fascinating. So, yeah, why not?
Do you think it's they see the success of Alex and Israel and they're coming over? Do you think it's the money difference? Do you think it's the fame and fortune? Like, why? Obviously, you're not them, but why do you think these guys are coming over?
Yeah, I think it's all of it. Obviously, those guys fought, crazy fights that I'm sure they didn't make any money. Joanna Jędrzejczyk and many others, and come over here, and it's absolutely life-changing for them. So, yeah, why not? Especially when you see people that, you came up with and possibly beat at one time doing so well. Why not come give it a shot?
I just want your thoughts on this weekend's UFC Fight Night between Brandon Royval and Tatsu Utara. It's a very fun fight for flyweight. Probably big implications in the division. What are your thoughts on it?
I agree. You just you just teed it right up for me. Yes, I agree. Fun fight, fun little card, and I'm looking forward to the main event.
I did want to ask, has there been any plans to go back to Japan? And I ask you this, is there a reason why you haven't gone back since 2017?
Yeah, Japan is a tough place to navigate when you in business in general, But yeah, I mean, every place that why am I talking about Africa right now? We end up with a Japanese star. Yeah, I could see us going back to Japan, but you have to have some stars. I mean, we went to Korea with the Zombie, and you gotta have the stars.
I think you have one in Kai Asakura, who just got signed to the UFC.
We're gonna find out.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess is it just kind of a waiting to see what happens? And
yeah, I mean, I'm always looking for great talent from all over the world, and as soon as I look at Topuria, trying to get to Spain, Mexico, and all the things we've done there. Australia, we're talking tonight, two very technical Australians in the first fight of the night. And I was thinking about, tonight I was telling these guys, I remember when all we had was Elvis Sinisic. So, yeah, it's all star-driven.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Thanks.
Go ahead. Just curious,
Go ahead,
circling back to Amanda, she had pretty much that walk-off, double champ, greatest of all time woman, no offense to Clarissa Shields. Would you guys welcome her back with open arms because she left the door open like that?
I love Amanda Nunes. I have an incredible relationship with her, and I would absolutely love to see her come back.
Yes, sir. And you mentioned, Ilya, how's everything trending in a couple of weeks? We got that big fight with Topuria and Holloway, across the world. How's that trending? How's that lighting up?
Yeah, today was matchmaking day, so we were in there today making some fights and beefing up some of the cards, and that was literally one of the big topics today on how badass that card is, and hopefully it stays together. So, yeah, I'm really excited about it.
Yes, sir. And don't accompany me in that. Speaking of company, guys, we had a OSP contract not renewed. Your thoughts on him? A guy who always showed up, didn't turn anything down.
He's a great kid. I've liked him since day one. Talked to him a little bit over the weekend, and said he's doing really well. He's in a good place in his life, and what a career he had coming out of college football. You know what I mean? So, yeah, he's a great kid. I really like him.
And last for me, Jorge Masvidal, Tyron Woodley's names keep coming up. YouTube interviews, social media. Any chance they end up back in the octagon, or probably not?
Probably not.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Dana, in addition to Poirier, someone else who proposed some fights for the UFC was Don Davis of the PFL. I'm not sure if you saw that. He proposed Cyborg versus Pacheco and Harrison versus Pena, $2 million each to the winner. The losing company pays all the purses. I know the answer to the question, but I just wanted to hear your thoughts.
Listen, I said it before, man. When you're losing the kind of money that they're losing and you're in the position that they're in, you just start throwing shit at the wall, and you're trying to fight for your life. I mean, like I said, whenever the hell I said it. I mean, this guy's talking about it cannot be fun to be one of their investors. It cannot be fun.
Last one for me. Sean Strickland had some pretty pointed comments in a
That's crazy
tweet today.
I can't even imagine.
Kind of slamming. I'm not sure.
To be honest with you, I don't even want to hear it.
Okay.
I don't even want to hear it. It's just, I mean, is it even shocking anymore? Whatever he said. Okay. Yes, sir.
Over here, obviously, Cody Steele, he's really well known within the grappling community. And you just mentioned how impressive it is that he is going out there toe-to-toe striking. So is this kind of an excitement similar to the one you had last week with a guy like Jacoby Smith, who you said was very diverse and can hop right in and do a lot of good things in the company?
Yeah, well, the kid from last week, I just saw this incredible raw talent. This kid's just a dog. He's a dog, man. He's got a great chin. Like I said, for a guy who's as good at jiu-jitsu as he is, hands are unbelievable. And also, a lot of those jiu-jitsu guys don't like to get hit. This kid doesn't care. He walks you down, stands right in front of you, will trade toe-to-toe with you. He is a dog.
Sure. And with Artem, given his age and his history, obviously, with Alex Pereira, is that a guy that you're going to want to throw in right into the deep end? Or?
Yeah, I think that, Alex is probably right tonight. Maybe there was a level of pressure that he hadn't felt before tonight. It's funny because when you think about all these other organizations that you fight in, it's never the same as when you come into the UFC. When you walk into you can be the first prelim of the night. It's a whole nother ball game when you step into the UFC. And now, because of the way the Contender Series is built, it's the same thing. I mean, you literally become talked about and you become somebody Sunday. Wednesday. Sunday, what the fuck am I talking about? Wednesday after the Contender Series. And more people have seen you fight. This guy's got over 30 fights in his career. More people will see what happened here tonight than in his entire career.
For sure. And just one last one for me outside of tonight. David Benavidez, he got a big fight announced today, seemingly against David Morrell. It's a big fight for boxing. I know last time he fought, there was a video of you guys embracing, sharing a moment, I think, around the Durango or Red Rock. So is that a guy you're a fan of and excited to fight?
Tell me the question again.
David Morrell and David Benavidez are going to fight.
Yeah.
Is that a fight that you're...
Oh, got it. Yeah. Yeah. So the story with he and I was, I met him when he was a kid. And he told me, I'm going to be a world champion someday. And then I run into him and he's a world champion. And, that's happened to me so many times, usually with MMA fighters, not boxers. But that's when I was sort of kicking the tires of boxing. Yes, I will watch that fight, if that's the question you're asking me. Yes.
And given that long history with David Benavidez and your new ventures into boxing, is that a guy you'd like to work with in the future?
I'm not talking about boxing right now.
Sure. Thank you.
All right.
Hey, could you clarify one thing? When you've said it a number of times, when you come to the UFC, it's a whole nother ball game. Is it the TV audience? Is it the arena? Is it the bells and whistles? How do you quantify what makes it different?
Yes. The answer is yes. I think it's all of that. When you come to the big league, you talk to any of these fighters, right, that fought, I don't care where they fought. Talk to them. They'll tell you the whole experience was completely different at the UFC. The professionalism, from the minute they get on the plane, they get off the plane, they land in whatever city it is, and then when you're about to make that walk into an arena. And for us, sometimes, depending on where we are, the arena can be full the first fight of the night, and the crowd's into it, and they're going crazy. These guys that fight on the bottom of the prelims probably have more people sitting in the stands than their biggest fight they had for any other organization, even on the prelims. And there's a different level of, once you get to the UFC, you've made it. Now you got to get through this first night and get in this, and now you're looking at a possibility of becoming unbelievably famous and making lots of money. So there's so much more on the line, and for most of these kids, they can say whatever they want in these other organizations. This is where you hope to get to someday, and you hope to fight in a main event in the UFC.
Tonight, I know Cody Steele looked really well, and his opponent, Chasen Blair, also looked great until he didn't. Is that a guy, I know we only have one more week of the Contender Series, but is this a guy that, he didn't win tonight, but is he somebody that still is going to be on your guys' radar for his performance tonight?
So when you talk to the matchmakers, Sean and Mick, and they find, like Sean told me tonight, I saw this kid, watched his fight in London, and he literally didn't even get out of the cage before I already had him agreeing to the fight. So, you know, when I tell you how much I respected a guy, when you see these kids that lost, I don't know if you really lose here when you fight the way that some of these kids fight. Because if anything falls out or anything happens, Sean and Mick are definitely calling those guys first. So Blair coming out of that cage that night and taking this fight, he lost nothing tonight. Everybody saw what he did, and he earned a lot of respect tonight. If not from anybody else, more importantly, from the matchmakers.
Yeah. We only got a few more shows left here in Vegas. The one that's still on is the one in December. Is there any news on the who are the headliners for UFC 310?
It's a fun card. It's a really, really good card. So, yeah.
Very good.
We'll let you know soon.
One of the things that came out recently in an interview, Kayla Harrison said the week of the fight that she went to the hospital earlier in the week was peeing blood. Is this the kind of stuff that you wish fighters would let you guys know in advance in case there was some sort of issue, or do you not want them to say something because we kind of want the fight to still happen?
If somebody is hurt and shouldn't compete, they should absolutely come to us and tell us, you know. But the truth of the matter is, it's like the NFL every Sunday. These athletes always have something going on. What was her deal? Why was she peeing blood?
I'm not sure what the exact terms was. I think she just said she had things going on. I'm not sure if she actually related to the weight cut, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, these are things. I mean, we were just talking a few weeks ago. You asked me about Sean's hip, and then after the fight the other night, broken toe and popped cartilage. And then, I mean, you got to assume that every Saturday, you know, if you look at how many athletes are on the card, they're not going in there feeling like, you know, shit, I feel like shit, and I don't do anything. You know what I mean? So you can imagine what these guys feel like going in every Saturday. There's always something.
Yeah. And I know Amanda's showing videos of her working out, but we got to think that if she comes back, a fight with Kayla, would be at 145? Amanda.
Oh, I don't know.
Sorry, Amanda.
I don't know.
Amanda came back.
I have no idea. I mean, she just posted something on Instagram today. There's still a lot of things that have to happen for that fight to even happen. To determine what weight class it would be at is impossible.
And last for me, there was Ian Gary put out a tweet saying he has news coming on. A lot of people say that there's a potential fight between him and maybe Colby Covington.
We talked about Ian today in matchmaking. There are a few options. So Colby Covington is definitely one of them, but there are a few options. We're trying to figure out what we want to do.
Awesome. Thanks, Dana.
Yep. Good. Have a great night, guys. Thank you.